What's up, PhinsTalk Nation? What's up, NFL fans? Today's been a crazy day. Today is March 9th, 2026. It's been a crazy day for the Miami Dolphins, as earlier this morning, Tua Tagovailoa has been released by the Miami Dolphins, meaning that they'll take the $99 million hit of dead cap money going into the 2026 season and also for the 2027 season. They'll be splitting that money up, $45 million per year for the next 2 years. That means Tua will be a free agent coming on March 11th, but this transaction will be a post-June 1st designation. And he was informed of this earlier today through his representation that John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley, and the brass will be releasing Tua Tagovailoa post-June 1st. That means he's eligible to sign with teams like the Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals, the Indianapolis Colts, but he has to prove himself as a starter to become a starter back in the NFL. It will most likely be at a minimum deal, and he will be a backup for the next team. Guys, I'll be honest with you, I've said it since before he was drafted. He should have not been drafted by the Miami Dolphins at 5. He had a major hip injury in college at Alabama, and that can end up being a deteriorating injury. As we know, the previous regime of the Miami Dolphins did not go into details, but it seems like he's having hip issues, and his regression for the past 2 years has been very strongly visible. But I was a anti-Tua draftee since he was in college, not because he was an Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback, but simply because he had that major injury during his final season at Alabama, and I think that would hamper his NFL career. Yes, he put up numbers during the first couple of years in Miami. He was the first Pro Bowler in a very long time for the Miami Dolphins at quarterback. He still did not prove to be a difference maker at quarterback. The only difference maker we've had over the past 40-something years or 30-something years was Dan Marino. And even with the Dan Marino type quarterback, which was elite, we did not get to the Super Bowl only one time with him, and that was during his rookie year. So, let me read to you the statements from John Eric Sullivan and from Tua Tagovailoa, and then I'm also going to tell you that the Miami Dolphins have not wasted any time, and they have signed Malik Willis, formerly of the Green Bay Packers, to come to Miami. I will do another video specifically on Malik Willis once contract details are fleshed out completely. I saw a number earlier of $67.5 million, but I could not see it. It flashed out through my computer. I did not see how many years, and all the details are pretty much not available at this time. Also, our Miami Dolphins have traded Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, to the New York Jets. I'll get more information on that trade and do a specific video on the Minkah trade. But as of right now, all I know is that Minkah was traded to the New York Jets. I'll do another video specifically on the Minkah trade in the next couple days or for next week. The statement from the Miami Dolphins, specifically John Eric Sullivan, the general manager. I've recently informed Tua and his representation that we are going to move in a new direction at the quarterback position, and we will be releasing him after the start of the new league year. As I shared with Tua, I have great respect for the person and the player he is. On behalf of the Miami Dolphins, I expressed our gratitude for his many contributions both on and off the field and in the community during his 6 seasons in Miami. As we move forward, we will be focused on infusing competition across the roster and establishing a strong foundation for this team as we work towards building a sustained winner. That was the statement from General Manager John Eric Sullivan, aka Sully. We also have a heartfelt farewell message from Tua Tagovailoa. Your energy, your loyalty, and your passion meant everything. You lifted me up in the biggest moments and stood by me through the challenging ones. From my first start I had to the first touchdown I threw. I'm grateful for all of it. My family and I felt your love every step of the way. I also carry deep regret that I could not get the job done and bring a championship home to this city. Miami deserves that, and I will always wish I could have delivered it for you. Most importantly, I thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for guiding my path, strengthening my faith, and carrying me through every high and low. My relationship with Him has given me perspective, patience, and purpose beyond the game. It truly is the work of Him. Through all my injuries, I am still able to play the game I've loved since I was a kid. As I prepare for my next chapter, I move forward with gratitude, faith, and memories I will cherish for a lifetime. South Florida will always hold a special place in my heart. Love uno out. That's the end part of it. But I'm going to read to you the first part of it. Thank you for 6 unforgettable years. From the moment I arrived, you believed in me, supported me, and embraced my family as your own. I was able to marry my wife and welcome both of my kids to the world. I was able to fortunately allow them to experience life from one I never got growing up. Wearing this jersey and representing this city has been one of the greatest joys of my life. To my teammates, coaches, thank you for the battles and brotherhood and the standard of excellence we tried achieving every single day we stepped on that field. I met so many of your families and cherished the friendships I've been able to make last 6 years. The work we put in together, the wins we celebrated, and even through the tough moments that shaped me, not just as a player, but as a man. To the front office and staff behind the scenes, thank you for the trust and guidance and everything you do that people don't always see. Never went unnoticed. The type of people that are needed to make up an organization goes way beyond the players. And you all make that possible for us to go out and perform on Sundays. That was the first half of the message, guys. I'm going to read to you an article that says that Falcons are making a strong push for Tua Tagovailoa in a little bit. But I'm also going to read to you an article that just recently, about 20 minutes ago, came out from the Sun Sentinel. Dolphins land QB Malik Willis, reuniting him with GM Sullivan and coach Halfleet from the Packers. It was out with the old and in with the new for the Miami Dolphins at quarterback on the first day of free agency Monday, as the Dolphins parted ways with their former franchise quarterback Tua Tagovailoa in the morning. Within an hour of free agency opening in the afternoon, they agreed to terms with former Green Bay Packers backup quarterback Malik Willis, according to league source. Willis is signing with the Dolphins on a 3-year contract for $67.5 million with $45 million guaranteed, according to multiple reports. Free agents can officially begin signing contracts with new teams at the start of the league year on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Willis is reunited with new Dolphins general manager John Eric Sullivan and coach Jeff Halfleet, who were both with him in Green Bay the last 2 seasons as he backed up Jordan Love. He told ESPN's Pat McAfee show moments after agreeing to the deal. He's super excited to work with the people he's familiar with in Sullivan and Halfley. Willis, despite a small sample size of success in the NFL, was the prize quarterback of the 2026 free agency because he stood out in spot duty for the Packers in 2024 and 2025. After a short tenure with the Tennessee Titans, his first two professional seasons. With Green Bay the past two seasons, Willis completed 70 of 89 passes for 972 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, while rushing for 261 yards and 3 more scores on the ground. His dual threat abilities are expected to ignite the Dolphins' offense with an element that has not been since recently in Miami, especially with Tua Tagovailoa behind center. The only knock on him is he has just 6 career starts. The first 3 coming with the Tennessee Titans 2022 after he was selected in the 3rd round of that draft out of Liberty. Speaking at the NFL Combine on February 24th, Sullivan deemed Willis one of several quarterbacks the Dolphins were looking into ahead of free agency. The question was always how much Willis' market would take off, depending on if another team was willing to approach $30 million per year territory on the deal, pricing Miami out in a year where the franchise should not be overspending on free agent. We had conversations about Malik? I think anybody that is potentially in the quarterback market would be lying to you if they said they are not. Sullivan said at the Combine, "My job is to infuse competition in the quarterback room, whether it's Malik Willis or another free agent or through the draft." Sullivan and Halfley have consistently said that there will be a competition at quarterback. Giving Willis big money, he is in line to have a starting job, while Quinn Ewers, who started the final 3 games last season in place of Tagovailoa. The Dolphins offense, which will be run by Bobby Slowick as offensive coordinator, figures to be one of the more electric, exciting ones, with Willis at quarterback, Devon Achane at running back, and Jalen Waddle as a top wide receiver. So there you go, guys. 3 years, approximate average, according to sources, $67.5 million. When there's more details, I'll do a specific video on Willis. And quickly, I'm going to read to you another article that the Falcons are pushing hard for Tua Tagovailoa. That's one of the landing spots I mentioned earlier. He can land in Atlanta, he can land in Indianapolis, he can land in Arizona, and he can land in LA with the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe even with the Los Angeles Chargers because of the ties with Mike McDaniel. But I think the Atlanta Falcons are pushing strong for Tua Tagovailoa. A decision written on the wall for months, now coming to fruition. The Miami Dolphins will release quarterback Tua Tagovailoa after the start of the new league year on Wednesday, the team announced Monday. It's a massive commitment to a fresh start by new head coach Jeff Halfley and general manager John Eric Sullivan, as moving on from Tagovailoa requires Miami to take on a record-setting $99.2 million in dead cap money. By designating Tagovailoa as a post-June 1st cut, the Dolphins club are already strapped for cash can at least spread out the hit over the next 2 seasons. I recently informed, which I already read that to you guys, a statement from John Eric Sullivan. Tagovailoa might not be on the open market for long. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, along with Mike Raffolo, reported on Monday that the Atlanta Falcons are expected to make a strong push for him, and a deal could come together quickly. The Falcons have a need for a veteran QB in the room, given that Michael Penix Jr. is currently recovering from a torn ACL. The insiders reported that there is mutual interest between Tagovailoa and the Falcons, who could sign him to a minimum 1-year deal, give the money he is owed by the Dolphins. A deal cannot be struck until Tagovailoa is officially released on Wednesday. Tua's exit from Miami has been coming for some time. a future foretold most clearly when Miami benched Tagovailoa for the final 3 games of the 2025 season. Though the firing of Coach Mike McDaniel and the hiring of Hafley and Sullivan could have provided Tagovailoa a reprieve by Super Bowl weekend, the NFL Network insiders had reported the Dolphins were expected to move on from the often maligned QB, the team-cutting pass rusher Bradley Chubb, and wide receiver Tyreek Hill further telegraphed a complete reset. Sullivan said in the NFL Combine on February 24th that everything, including a trade, was on the table for Tagovailoa. Yes, he did say that, guys. So I do like this article, and I agree that the Falcons seem to be the front runner for Tagovailoa. Like I said, he might be the starter for a little bit because Penix Jr. is recovering from an ACL tear, but he's really looking for backup positions. He needs to prove himself that he can be a starter in the NFL. And like I said, I'll do another extended video on Malik Willis and his contract once further details are out. Like always, I appreciate your support. And like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins. And the era of Tua Tagovailoa in Miami is officially over, guys.